Hello and good morning to all of you.
Hello. It's a new year. No, we're already in the new year. It's been a while.
This is the first podcast that we're recording
This year.
2021.
This year.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. If this is the first time you're joining us, sorry, but you just stumbled upon the podcast that will change your life.
Yeah.
For more reasons today, because we're actually talking about something that actually matters.
And confuses me all the time.
Me more.
Wait, just check. This is the first podcast we're recording this year.
Yeah.
But it's the second one they're listening to this year.
Yes.
Man, that is
But to be fair, last week's podcast, the one that was out about like reflecting about 2020 and kind of like
Oh, that's true.
that was heavy, man.
I mean,
today's
it's
one
not like
also
it's gonna be
not
lighter
heavy.
this year.
It's really heavy today as well. But today we are absolutely delighted to be joined by the lovely. You know what? I'm just gonna let her introduce herself. Who you? What you do?
her English name is Magdalene, but in Chinese she's better known as.
Huh? Say what?
Hi, who you? What you do?
Okay, I'm Suyin and I make YouTube videos about money and investing.
Oh,
Oi, come on.
Yeah.
the Chinese girl all your parents want you to look for. Make
This
videos
one, the
about money.
boyfriend chopped though, man. Really, the father, mother,
Yeah.
happy,
Oh,
man.
man.
You
Oh,
a lucky
sweet.
guy.
Oh my god!
Hey,
Happy New Year.
what's his name? And don't call it. Hey, boyfriend, you better put a ring on this soon, man.
Oh my goodness.
Aiyo.
So Ian, what in wait, just to take a step back, I think some of y'all have heard Suyin on Jin's podcast
Definitely.
before. She's been around the YouTubes and
You guys have definitely seen her.
yeah.
Yes.
I actually found you online as well. Like
Hey.
after like in 2020, right? Then dropped a message and she was so nice, not like some of us here who don't
What does that mean?
I don't check my Instagram messages at
I
all.
actually don't.
To be honest.
Stop sending me messages on my Instagram if it's for work, guys. There's an email there. Send it over to the email.
Send it to the email.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
man.
did that
How
as
do you
well.
keep up? Like
We
even
don't. That's honest.
I just look at it and I'm like, oh my god, there's just so much going on there
It's a
that
lot.
I just like okay,
The secret
close.
is we don't keep up.
Just close the app. All right. Cool. And for everyone who does recognize her, welcome to the Table Talk
Oh my
podcast.
goodness.
Hey,
Hey.
We're kicking this off this year pretty like seriously because if Suyin is here, she's here to talk about one thing:
There's wisdom.
love lives.
Yes.
Oh,
So there's
yes.
nothing other than physical intimacy, being real
Physical
with your body.
attraction.
That's why
No,
we're
no.
here today. That's why we're here today.
Suyin is really good at making sure the
Animals are
finances the farm animals are fed. By farm animals, you mean her savings accounts.
Yeah.
Then yes, because
Investments.
how I came across Suyin's content was in last year. Obviously, a very big and stressful matter was finance.
Come on.
On all of us.
For
Yeah.
everybody, especially like I think we did a few episodes about it as well, where you and I and even Brian we discussed about how important it was for the studio to like figure out its expenses. How in the world do we make money? Like what do we do? But we've never really dove into the whole personal financial management thing.
Yep,
right?
yep.
I foresee I think a lot of people already kind of relate to this. Like if you
Yeah.
guys,
For sure.
because man,
And then all this, we at the table today, we have a it's a hand-selected panel, I would say, because we've got the
Hand-selected.
expert. We've got
All three
Ming
of
Han.
us.
No, I mean, for several reasons, we've got the expert who does this, full
Full-time.
time. We've got
Kinda.
someone who does this between his free time, and then you have someone who literally has no time to do any of this. So let's talk about finance. But before that,
Yeah.
how's your 2020?
My 2020, I spent it at home, and like to be honest, like in the sense like finance was a big topic, and I kind of ran away from it in March and April because like everybody was talking about it. So like
right.
Break, man.
okay, like the investment part of finance.
yeah.
So when it's so noisy, you just kind of want to like shut everyone else out
Yeah.
and just like do your own thing.
Yeah, of
So I
course.
think that's my 2020. But my relationships improved. I spend more time
Great.
with my parents. Yeah, so it was quite nice.
I mean, we all spent a lot of time
Yeah,
Okay.
either
at
with our
home
parents
lah.
or ourselves last year. And the fact that I don't know, some of us took it really well, some of us didn't, some of us filled it up with all kinds of
Yeah.
hobbies.
It's a mixed year. Like I'm sure you all discovered something new that you like to do with your time.
Oh yeah.
Odd.
I spent a bit of time doing that.
Oh my god. I mean, I have a kid, so that's a lot of new things to do every single day. Yeah, I did come across. I mean, that is basically how I came across your stuff because I think in that whole journey of okay, guess what, everyone? The banks don't work the same way anymore. Our economy is obviously not doing well.
Yep.
And if the superpowers of the world, like China and America, are going through some economic problems, if there's anything I've learned, we're not in a good place to be like, oh, let's just put the money in the bank, right? So I think a lot of people don't realize like, okay, I mean, even that is a bit further on already, right? Because like how you value your money in your savings account, it's gonna depreciate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Those
correct,
kind of things.
I guess like last year was a big lifestyle change for all of us. Like, we
sure.
couldn't do the things that we really found value in previously, like whether it's like going out or traveling for a lot
Right.
of people, right?
Right.
So we had to adjust where our money went.
And that was my field of expertise. I love to see the trends of how people had started or ended up spending their disposable income. Because, Lazada last year. the
Mingyu's
growth-
really.
Very nice.
Where did yours go?
Actually, we have a good spectrum as well because
Yeah.
Mingyu, you don't know, but Suyun actually loves spending money as well.
Oh,
I
hey,
do.
wow. Air high
So
five.
she is in the middle of the spectrum because Mingyu is good at spending money. I just put it- and I don't mean that in
I'm
a
good
stupid
at
way.
helping customers spend money.
That's I mean like
It's good
in-
for the economy.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could say that, but also I think the trend of what is in and what is out. Mingyu and I have been different from birth, as in I would go on for the things on the menu that I am familiar with and are like the bottom three prices. But Mingyu would go for something like, will this make my dining experience worth it?
Hey, you edgy lah, you.
I was going to say bougie, but
So there's
That's a nice word for it lah.
This is going to be quite interesting because I think in a time where everyone right now is, I think, struggling to number one make ends meet, right? If
Yep.
you read the title of the podcast today, is it actually possible to save money now?
are we talking about like crypto stuff? Because everyone's talking about crypto stuff in the past week.
That's his expertise.
Okay.
I mean, we
let's-
don't have to,
Yeah.
but we're talking about saving money first. All right,
Okay, Yeah,
let's even start
before
there.
you
Where
can
do
even
I
get
start?
there.
All right,
Yeah.
treat me as if you guys are like me and haven't had. Okay, so maybe to give a bit of context and background, I will be the guinea pig for today's podcast to receive first-hand information from both a crypto enthusiast as well as a all-round investing guru. All right.
I'm not.
Could-
Oh my
Okay,
god.
well, if you're not-
actually, could the first steps be like if you don't know anything about it, don't invest and don't do crypto. Like
Okay,
that's
looks
my
like
rule.
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, okay, let's talk about.
Okay, lah,
let's-
we'll get the basics right
Yes,
first.
let's
So
do some
Yeah.
basics.
I've got money in bank accounts. I've
Yes.
got money in some companies that I invest into.
Under
my
But
bed.
nothing like, but no like diversified portfolio that's fancy enough to be like, I own shares in Tesla. I don't have that. I would like to. Because, Elon Musk, congratulations. Shout out to Elon if you're watching
Richest
this.
man in
Hey
the world.
man, congrats. You deserve it, for sure.
He's the hope of all mankind. To be very honest,
I want to be like him.
if there's anyone with a first one way ticket off this planet is Elon.
him.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
literally.
he is Tony Stark, for real.
Yeah, short of the Iron Man suit. That's
Okay,
it.
so back to today's topic. I think what we want to do, or we don't want to stretch too far in terms of giving
Right.
you guys unfollowable advice. Like that's not the
Yes.
aim of the podcast, right?
Right.
But I think because we've got some brilliant minds in the studio, including mine with no knowledge as well, we want to make sure that there is a very, very sort of like replicatable action step for you guys to do after the podcast. Because I think when it comes to finances, people either stray away from it and they don't like talking about it at all, or they talk about it so much it becomes intimidating.
Yeah, you just shut off.
So yeah, so let's not do either one of that. I mean, with the fact that we're already talking about it is already a good step. So as with all things here, we're gonna kick it off at the table of beautiful minds. This is an oh yeah from Desmond.
Oh, yeah?
All right, what's step one, guys?
Usually we always have to pretend we know what sound
Yeah,
effects
so I
playing.
have sound effects.
There's
Here,
the-
so
Mingyu
sorry.
is the only one who can hear it.
Oh.
All right, so saving money. What's the daunting thing about it? What is the scary thing about saving money in a time where people are losing jobs? What do you think? Like I mean, you're fine, but
Yeah,
what made you want to save money first? That's the first. Let's just start there.
I think saving came very easily because, Asian culture, right? That's the one thing our parents teach us, right? They always say like, oh, save money for a rainy day. And then it just kind of repeats and we
Every
we
day is a
had-
rainy day.
I mean, in a climate like ours.
literally, but last year was particularly rainy, and
Yes.
a lot of people felt it, lah. And I guess I knew that I needed to save money when I started working, but it got hard to do it
Right.
because of my tendency to like
Tendency.
spending. Yeah, right.
Tendency.
The disease.
Oh boy. Like this, I think that's what people have in mind, right? When I mean, if you're a college student, you're like, I can't save money now because I get pocket money.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you're a high school student, like I can't save money now because everything my parents give me, I need to spend. There was even that. There was this that online confessions post by this Monash or this Taylor student.
Ooh, one of those.
Remember, he was getting 3,000 a month, and he
Walao,
asked
Pocket
eh.
money? Whoa.
pocket money.
Money,
And then
nice.
but the thing is, he asked it very earnestly. Okay,
Okay.
he's like, guys, how do you all save money? I find it very hard to save money with $3,000 of pocket money a month. And it blew me away because I read, obviously everything going through Mingyu's mind right now, yes, okay, the comments were not kind. Okay, the comments were less than the example of Mother Teresa and Jesus Christ.
Aiyo,
It was
They were like-
it was harsh. It was very harsh because everyone was like, "You entitled little spoiled brat. How do you not save
Yeah,
money
yeah,
at
true,
$3,000 a month?" But I think here's where we go into the saving money. I don't know. I think
Yeah, I kind of get it though, like because that's his reality and that's what he's used to,
you're
right?
used to it, right?
He's used to spending money on maybe his friends, like dining
Right.
out, shoes, whatever, right? And
Right.
like, you cannot fault him for it, but at
Yeah.
the same time, he's trying, I guess,
Right.
to find an alternative route.
Wow,
and
you're
I-
so nice. Like how she started that, right? She approached it with, that's his reality.
Can't
Guys,
blame him.
It's true though.
But
Like,
that's
who
the-
are you, Sia?
But isn't that the
like,
step? Like
he
step
wants
one?
to do something
true.
about
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
step one, lah, like acknowledging that
You
this
have a
is your
problem.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to change your reality because I think for even-
That's your situation.
yeah, for him, he took certain things which are normal, like what he didn't even see was wrong. Where guys, every week I usually need to go to Pavilion like once or three times a week, and then
Buy
like
stuff at Top Man or something.
no, yeah, not even that. But like I don't. How you need to go? You need to take Grab, ma. Then Grab every trip is like $30 already, ma. So like you go there, want to be safe, right? You don't take public transport at night, and just like. Wow, actually got some logic in there, but like the logic is a bit
I like
off.
that.
You know?
Let's start off. If you guys are taking notes while you're driving, obviously that's super safe.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Start with your reality, right? And understand that your reality of how you spend money may
Might-
not actually be
Yeah.
the reality of everyone else.
Because the reality is everyone can save money.
Well, I like saying
Full
that many
stop,
times.
right? Everyone can save
Plug
money.
in. This episode is brought to you by Marvel and Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. It's not, but we would like it to be. Back to you
Really?
guys.
Do we
Manifestation?
we're sponsored- like, oh no, the manifest. Are you part of the manifest gang? Like
Little bit.
manifest it into
Low,
it?
low key,
bit.
low key. But I will never say it out loud.
But you
That I'm
just
part of
did.
that gang.
Like, part of the gang?
You will
like
never
that.
catch it.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to like the fact. Okay, so no, I am a psychologist and I'm judging everyone right now. So, the whole thing about setting the reality straight, I think, is you gotta ask a level-headed friend to take a look at your life and like.
Who is level-headed
That
in
is
your
usually it's your
friendship
parents
group?
lah, but most people don't listen to your parents, right? So I think a good step to really understand savings is like, okay, will I die if I don't buy this? To me, that's like the first extreme, right?
Yeah,
That's like the
okay.
simplest way to like, I would say, shave off the treats of your life. All right,
Wow.
like for example, would I die if I didn't drink Starbucks coffee? Or would I die if I didn't eat McDonald's every other day? Are there alternatives to such and such options? Not to say that I don't like these treats. They are beautiful and there are ways to save money on them as well. But like for example, like this guy going to the mall, he's going 3 times a week. Like, will I die if I don't go 3 times a week? So that's like I don't know if it makes sense, but that's a really good way to start. If you feel that I won't die, but I don't want to give it up. Yeah, there we go. That is the nerve. That is the first, for me, that is the nerve you got to stop.
That's
Because,
your
like
hook
people,
lah.
I really want to, I really want to get this, but I won't die, but I really want to.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Minghan's really good at that. I have
Yeah.
to say that Minghan is extremely good at just deciding and then maybe just kind of filtering out things that is a want or a need. He's very good at that. So let's spin
Yeah.
the spotlight over to us. What's
Yeah.
your
What's the tough
what's
parts?
the latest item that you've purchased? Of like that's like, oh, I really like this.
Oh, that I really liked. I actually, I haven't been buying a lot of things lately, but they're mostly for the house.
Okay lah,
So,
house things.
I really
I'm gonna
liked-
be that slide lah.
I really liked the very big item though. So I bought a spin bike with my sister.
Oi!
Yeah, so each of us have had to cough up
Wow.
$5,000
Yeah, per bike.
per bike.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
No, sorry, it's 10K per bike. So
Help
we,
me.
we split the difference, right?
Help me.
I
Please
know,
me
I
and
know.
call me Steven.
But you
It's
see,
okay, normal price Yeah.
But
Oh,
you factor in-
thanks.
but you factor in the part that, you know, if you usually want to go out to the gym, is it?
Yeah.
Do you make that kind of calculations?
so we bought it because we knew for a fact that like cases were rising, and the latest cases were from the gyms.
Right.
Correct.
As like people travel around and it's like
See, that's
an
why I
enclosed
never go
space.
to the gym. Like
Yeah.
I
It's
cut
a
off all
dangerous
this
sport.
exposure immediately, right?
Okay.
And now it is technically, right?
yeah, technically.
yeah.
So, oh man, I got sidetracked while
Okay,
thinking
no,
You
about
got this. You put 10K on the
No,
bike.
I almost don't
Right.
even want to talk to you about your bike anymore because it's like it's well-being and fitness. Let's talk about a guilty purchase.
Excuse.
Something that you bought, you're like, like because we're trying to figure out like what Minghan just said. Do I really need this? Some people
yeah,
might be
I
arguing.
didn't really need a bike. I could just
Yeah,
like run on the
yeah.
spot and do like some jumping
That's
jacks,
crazy
right?
also.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, you
guess.
buy a bike. I buy a skipping rope for $2. It's start enterprise. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the difference
And
at
if
that
I
point,
use
right? There we go.
Minghan's like rule of thumb of like, will I die if I?
won't, you won't.
Yeah, I wouldn't,
Yeah.
right?
You die if you go to the gym.
So we need we need a better like framework for
Yeah,
deciding
yeah.
whether
Yeah.
it's a need
What do
that
you
we
think
buy
is a
it.
good framework for that? Because I feel like there might be people who like me struggling with even that. Because again, let's use our friendly neighborhood student who was like, oh, I won't die if I don't go to pavilion, but maybe I won't hang out with my friends and then socially I'll die.
Yeah, so I guess like this is where the unconventional thought comes in. Like
Yeah.
I actually buy the things that I want.
Get it, girl?
But what I do is I allocate for it. Like
Okay.
I have a small fund every month that I save towards
Here we
where I
go.
can just like
Here we go.
where I can just save money for splurging on stuff. So that way I don't feel guilty.
Okay.
And I know that I have the money for it.
Okay, is there a good framework of like, for example, if I'm earning $3,000 a month, how I mean everyone's parents gives them a different percentage. Some tell them if you're earning $3,000 a month, you should save 40%.
Yeah,
60%
yeah.
is
Okay,
good
this
to
is where it
cost,
gets
like, okay.
interesting. I think we did have this, right? You
Yeah,
have
we
that,
talked
you have
about
the
this
different
before.
funds that you have.
Yeah.
I have this thing called the $1 rule.
You have like
it-
some steps.
Yeah, you
some
kind of like pie
layers.
chart it and
Wow.
everything, right? So
Okay, let's just hear the different ways you can save. Let's
all right,
start with
let's just to make it interesting first,
Yeah.
Mingyu. If you earn $1,000 every month,
Oh,
what
what
do you
you
do
do?
with it?
I will stop working where I'm working.
Yeah, exactly that. Because you're not earning enough.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I mean, let's say if you earn $10,000 a month.
Okay, if I earn
Okay, there we go.
10,000,
Now we're talking.
Okay.
now we're talking.
So I wanted to make it simple. Like, no,
Okay,
I'll try.
okay.
I wanted to do like the $100. Just okay.
100.
Oh, okay,
Let's just,
okay.
you know, okay,
just
let's
for
just-
the sake of the
just for the sake of
conversation,
it,
if
yeah.
I'm earning $1,000, I think how much is my bills?
Okay,
Straight up, right?
let's put it up. Let's make it grand a bit, okay? Let's
Okay,
put
okay.
10,000 a month.
Okay.
If you earn 10,000 a month, what do you think you spend what on?
Okay, so my car is like, okay, let's allocate maybe 3 to 4 for like bills.
Okay, done. So that's left with 7K.
Yeah.
All right.
So 7K.
Right.
I just keep it under my pillow. That's where all my money goes.
That's what you say. Then you go
But-
online and then they start
And then,
surfing.
and then I
But-
start buying stuff on Lazada for 11.11.
Right.
And then I'm left with like maybe. Okay, I'm not that bad. I don't spend that much money anymore.
It's changed.
At your peak,
Post
of
2020.
spending, because
I can make the 10 disappear.
yeah,
Yep.
because I think
And more, right?
And more.
I could
But
do
but
that.
because the thing
Yeah.
is, I think a lot of people had the money out kind of thing. But Mingyu does this whole thing where he makes sure he buys something good and then he makes sure he can sell it after that if he loses interest in it.
Oh.
So I always sell the stuff. I always keep the boxes for my products.
Do you get to sell it at
Higher prices, yes.
hey, this guy's smart.
But the thing is, the money is floating in the product, so there is no
Yeah.
reserve.
Converging on the
emergency-
fact
yeah.
would you sell it or not.
Exactly.
huh?
Yeah.
But that's a whole different thing. That's literally trading. Let's just put it back that bit first, okay?
yeah.
But yeah, that like,
Enough about me. Let's hear both of you. Because to be honest, right, I don't
Put you
have
on
a
the
framework.
spot.
Okay.
Let's hear whatever I get from extra jobs or like even like my pay.
Right.
Obviously, that one just goes into the bank lah.
Yeah, you save it now.
Right. Well, even the bank is rough. Like, okay, so my $1 rule, 10,000, right? If I earn 10K, right off the bat, I pay off all the bills, right? So I don't even take the 10K as my pay. So let's say I pay off the bills on my car, my house, and my electrics, or everything for the month. I will say that my pay is actually 5,000. So immediately I have 5,000 that is for necessities.
Okay.
Right? So right away, 50% is for necessities. The next 50% that I have, like my $5,000, I would actually just take 1,000 out for food per month, right? 4,000 straight goes into the bank. So that is kind
Wow,
of like
that's so
how
much.
I would do
It
savings.
saves a lot,
But
man.
but
Shit.
But then again, I don't have 10,000 a month. Just saying lah, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I have actually no one day. But yeah, for me like the whole $1 rule is I'll try to save as much toward the middle line of my spendings
So
as
you're
possible.
like down 50, like you really
If
try
I
to
can
hit 50 lah.
if I can save 50 a month,
Okay.
that is like amazing for me lah. But now it's a bit
Wow.
tough because I have a kid
Yeah,
and her
it's different.
expenses fluctuate like crazy. Like 1 month she chooses to go to the hospital, then that's Happy New Year for everyone, right? 1 month she chooses to like, I've outgrown all my clothes this month, then Happy New Year to everyone as well. 1 month she has like a diarrhea month, then the Pampers spendings go haywire as well.
I see.
But
Very variable.
yeah, that's why that spending is even more, I would say, that 50-50 line is very important for me.
Damn.
So if anything crosses that mark, I actually do have like emergency in that other 50% that I've not spent.
Okay.
So that is how like the first steps of putting out my savings is. So yeah, how does it work for you?
Like for me, it's different, right? Because I'm of the demographic. I guess like very similar to the listeners. Like I'm still
Right.
living at home with my parents, so
Right.
the first thing that comes to mind isn't my bills, because lucky that way lah. At the moment,
For now.
for now,
It's your reality.
for
But
now,
that's what
that's
you.
my
But
reality.
hey, for
yeah.
everyone listening out there, that's what you should capitalize on right now. You
Yeah.
make use of it.
So
right?
you can like what I tried to do is get my savings right,
Right.
and even before looking at what I owed other people, which is like insurance and
Right.
car maintenance, all of that, right? What I did first was save. Let's say I earn 10,000, right? I save for the different things that matter to me. Because you were talking about emergencies, like whether
Yeah.
Haley needed to
Yeah.
get like more Pampers in a particular month.
Right,
I
right.
like to plan for that kind of thing. Not that I have a Haley, but I like to plan
Right.
for myself.
Right.
And I think that makes me feel more secure. So I have a plan for my vacation. I have planned for people who are getting married or have a birthday coming up. So I have a gift fund. And then, as I said, I have a fund where I can
Splurge
just
fund.
splurge for myself. And then investments takes up the bulk of my savings.
Oh yeah, your
Yeah.
investment portfolio is a whole different matter, and it's a bit advanced stuff.
No, like just simple stuff
To
for
you, it's
like the
simple.
regular people. No, I'm
you.
serious. I'm very,
Okay, okay.
I'm very lazy. That's why I need a system that works for me, so I don't have to think about it.
Right.
So at the start of every month, I just have all of these like percentages going away, and they are money that I won't even see until I need to use them
yeah.
for a vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you do have portion stuff for even your guilty pleasures, lah.
Yeah, and I put them in separate bank accounts.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, so you don't need to like fiddle with like Excel sheets, knowing like, oh, this
Right,
money is
right.
for this.
Actually, that's a
Yeah.
really smart thing to do because I also did that to forget about my money.
Yeah,
So I used to have bank A or bank B, and I would put bank A, which is my current bank, meaning that even in my current bank, I have like a savings account and a current account, right? Not the current account like your credit card or stuff like that, right? But this bank A is the immediate money that I kind of want to use just in case for every week. Then I have bank B, which has a better interest rate and everything, and I would put money in here, which I just totally forget.
yeah.
So the best part was like after high school, then mom shut down a public bank, right? And I was like, whoa. Through high school and everything, I actually saved quite a lot of money in bank B because I totally forgot about it. And every year the fixed deposit just kind of like rolled over and rolled over and rolled over and
that's
rolled
good.
over. But yeah, actually multiple banks help because I mean everyone here kind of like has an app, right, for your bank, and like you can kind of see all the time like how much money you have inside, right? Subconsciously in your mind, you will think of like, if I spend extra, I still have this amount in my bank.
Oh yeah.
Right? So, the whole out of sight, out of mind really works because you already know that, okay, even though my savings account has like 5,000, I have like 5,000 left in my fixed deposit or like in the other account that I have. But I can see it on my phone. But if I don't see the phone, like if I don't see the phone, if I don't see the 5,000, right? Yeah, it's as if I don't have the 5,000 bucks anymore.
Yeah.
And
That's a good idea.
that's safe. That's
So,
very safe.
so for everyone listening, how
Right.
many bank accounts should we have?
15 minimum.
What?
No, start with 2 lah. Just start with
at least two. At
Yeah,
least two.
start with
Like
2.
one where your money you're spending, that's where it's going out from, and then another for what you're saving in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
At least.
Okay, and then let's jump into it. Investment.
Okay.
What to do? What where?
Like figure out what you actually want, like the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Some people love like late nights and like looking at a screen, like the
Love is an
math.
understatement, more like forced to love it.
Really?
Have you heard this whole thing about where you need to invest based on your personality?
Yeah, I've heard it and I believe in it
Yeah.
because if you
Yeah.
don't, like you're gonna get yourself into a
lot
lot of yeah.
I don't want to look
A
at
whole
screen.
pile.
I
You
don't
don't look
know
at
what he's
screen.
doing.
Yeah, right? I don't do that.
Yeah.
So I think the whole thing about like even this whole like isn't even possible to save right now in a pandemic.
Yeah.
I would say that investments in a pandemic is actually a step further than savings.
Yep.
So,
Right.
so you guys we talked about this before we started rolling. You guys were saying that banks were like, just don't put in banks now.
To be honest, if you don't, I'll just like maybe to add some caution. If you don't know how to invest,
Put in the bank.
put it in the bank.
Okay.
Because that's really the safest you can do. Like if you invest, you need to know that you will make mistakes in
Yeah.
investments,
So
right?
investments has a higher
It's a
percentage
risk.
of risk. lah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you the mindset that you go into investment is everything you put down in investment, you need to be ready to lose.
Oh, what a gamble.
Usually.
If
Usually.
We are
yeah.
gambling.
I mean,
Not really lah. Okay, so the gist is this lah. If you have not gotten the habit of saving, right, you shouldn't be looking at investing.
not at all.
If you're not earning or okay, maybe don't say that. But like you also need to look at your earning capacity
Yeah.
beyond investing, right? Because you can invest $1,000, but it's just gonna be $1,000. If you get 100% return, it's only gonna be 2,000. Yeah. So it depends on the capital that you're working with as well. So
Absolutely.
especially like to a younger audience, we also need to emphasize that the earning side, and there are many ways to earn money. Even though like say you're still studying, a lot of my I'm an ex-teacher actually, so a lot of my ex-students are doing a lot of different things to make money. Whether it's like internships that are paid or whether it is flipping items, like some of them do
So,
quite
yeah.
interesting stuff.
So I think that's the difference about I think people who are in financial management, because I think for people who are focused on how do I save money, the other side of the coin that you're not looking at most of the time is how do I increase or like diversify the income that I have, right? Because that also plays into how much you can save. But of course, the real effort that you're looking at is like when you diversify your streams of income, you only have a certain number of hours a day that you have
Very
to
true.
like work on it,
Very
right?
true.
So like even for me, like learning this trading thing, right? It was a very, very like it was very strenuous, but I had to do it because I knew that this skill needs to come in handy one day. You work like until 6 p.m. or like 7 p.m. in a day. You take a break for dinner, and then I would go all out like from 10 p.m. to like 2 a.m. Because like there is a lot of things you need to figure out when it comes to trading, especially because we're not in the same Angmo time zones, right? So like people need to understand that when it comes to investments, right, and doing stuff like that, it takes an extra set of hours.
Yeah,
to
there's
get-
a price that you have to pay.
Yes.
And it's different for everybody. So
Yes.
it's just a matter of are you willing to pay that price?
right.
And investments itself looks different for
It is.
everybody.
It is
as
very
well.
lucrative lah when you tell people like, oh, I put my money here and now it's up like 80%. But then people don't realize that you put your money there for like how long,
Yeah,
right? And like you've seen it fluctuate down and you've been in red and everything. But okay, that's why I said like investments in itself is a very different part of. It's not even savings.
Saving,
It's not.
No,
yeah.
it's after.
In a time like this where you're trying to figure out savings, I think I do agree with what you said. If you haven't figured out how to save yet, don't figure out investments yet because
Don't rush it.
investments is going to make you feel even less confident about the money that you have. Because like, let's say lah, for example, I think everyone's very you've heard about this obviously. Bitcoin is flying up like in like nobody's business, right? So there's a very big word. It's called FOMO when it comes to investments.
Yeah.
You feel left out. Like should have bought. Like all my friends are jumping in. I should jump in too, right? And then you jump in. And you jump in where it's like super expensive. And then the next day you look at your account. I'm like, where half my money go, right? So you see, like that is the difference. Like when you jump into a bank account, banks don't do that to you, right? I think if you haven't figured out savings, I would strongly say that in that whole like $1 rule that I have, right? If the 40% of my savings that go into savings, 10% of that go into investments, right? So because like investments is actually, they have risk. Savings, there's no risk in savings unless your country suddenly one day chap up, right? That's the only risk that you run if you put your money into like ringgit and suddenly one day the Agong and the Prime Minister come out, hey guys, guess what? Shutting down Malaysia, we give up. That is when you start to get scared. If you hear that on TV, I don't care what you do to your money, swap it out, okay?
Yeah.
Thai money, Indonesian currency, just swap it out immediately, okay? That's when you know savings no longer would make sense. But I would say like just the dialing it back. If you are living with your parents still, if you don't have the burden of paying bills and stuff, I would say to start practicing figuring out what it feels like.
Yeah.
Pay for things like your own phone bill.
Yes.
Try to pay for your family's internet bill. Or
a percentage of it, maybe. Like you can start off with
this is the painful one. Pay for your own insurance.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to anyway.
Yeah.
So
baby step into it, right? Baby step
you
into
bitch
it.
up.
But I
Sorry,
do.
what? Sorry.
I do believe maybe. Well, I mean, I don't think there's an easy way to start talking about investing without going full on into like how to invest properly, because there's so much risks and skills involved. I mean, if you want to be the type like me, you like just buy and forget. Best tip is buy gold.
Okay, so
Right?
hold on. I'm an audience to this topic.
Sure.
I don't know what the actionable steps are.
Yeah, my skin crawls like when you say like
Gold?
buy gold. Like
I mean, the thing is, I have to be open-minded about it,
so
right?
I have a Maybank account.
Okay.
I'm now going to open a bank account at who's got good rates now?
Frank OCBC.
OCBC. So
public
I'm
bank, yeah.
opening up
Not
an
sponsored,
OCBC bank account, right? And then let's say I have $1,000 a month.
Right.
Do you guys decide to put in a percentage before you spend or after you spend?
Oh no, before spend,
Okay,
400%.
so from
right.
that 1,000, how many ringgit do I put into the OCBC account? So my Maybank is my current account, right? Money comes in, $1,000 goes in. How much is a good sort of like amount to put inside
Okay,
there?
so there are rules of thumb. So it's at least 10%.
At least 10%.
You
I was
should
gonna say
save
10%. Yeah.
At least 10% to get that habit going.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that's when you figure out like what are you actually spending your money on.
Yeah.
Like say if you already have bills that you know some of the things need to get paid, so
Yep.
that you allocate for that. And then you see like what else is there? Are you overspending on food? Are you like partying too hard with the drinks?
Hey,
Too
you
hard with
stress
the
me
drinks.
with that soda water.
Yeah, soda water
No,
life.
no. This
which
is your guilty pleasure, Mingyu.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is your guilty
And
pleasure.
I mean-
Means though, yeah.
And also don't take that away from you completely. Cause
Hear that?
Yeah,
It's
like-
also okay.
You need
yeah,
to
because
live.
you'll be miserable.
You save the money do what when you die?
Give your kid. Give your family. Give your family.
Okay.
If you like them enough.
If you like them enough.
Wow, okay.
That's very honest.
So 10%. So for let's say 100 ringgit goes into the OCBC bank. Pay your bills, and then let's say I have let's say I've got $300 extra. What do I do with that? Do I spend it myself?
I have this rule about like that whole 300 thing, right? Like again, there's no set rules, right? The 10% actually, to be honest, right? I honestly think 10% is a great start, but I don't think it's good enough like
Yep.
for
Okay.
savings.
Yep.
Okay.
One thing that I can do, like one thing I actually started with, like maybe in high school, right? If I was gonna buy my Digimon, right? I needed to put away the same amount of money in the bank that I'm going to be spending on my Digimon.
Ah, okay.
So that's where my whole 50-50
Nice.
rule came out from. Because if I'm going to spend that much, I should be saving that much. And that was very painful because, good Lord, it took so long to get the stupid Digimon. I mean, but that's to me what you can do the rest of the 300 if you really want to maximize it, and you want to feel the real, if you want to feel the real impact and depth of spending money and saving money, try lah. Even you guys can at home can try it. Every time you want to buy one latte, right? Put the same amount of money in your bank account and see how fast your wallet finish.
There's actually an app that does that right now.
The one that saves the change from it.
Or something.
Let's not promote people's app right now. But I've seen it. So the app is actually really smart because it rounds up everything you spend. And like, let's say if you're spending 27.30, it will just take the 70 cents to round it up to a dollar, or it will round up to like 30 bucks.
Is that something I should try?
You can. But it's very minuscule. It's very minuscule.
So unless you guys want to sponsor an episode, we'll talk about it in the future.
Yeah.
But hey, back to natural savings.
So
I guess like the thing that we're really missing, right, is like once you save this 10% of your money, what is it actually for?
Yeah, what is it for?
Yeah, are you just saving just so you have
the
money
apocalyptic
there?
rainy day.
So you guys saying the first step of it is just to get the habit of saving that 10%, right? Or like 10% plus.
Yeah.
And then once I've got maybe a year's worth of 10%, so maybe now I have 1,000 ringgit in my OCBC bank, right? Then I want to start looking at
Well,
withdrawing everything and just burning it.
so you see, it's not that simple, right? So we're always saving, and then emergencies happen. Like something happens, like your car needs a change of tires because like nail, right, all over our Malaysian roads and potholes.
Current topics, this girl.
Yeah.
No, serious. Like last year alone, I had to change. No, I didn't change my tire because of the nails, but I had to patch my tires 4 times. Because I drive around for work, and I drive like to weird places, like far off places,
like Klang,
like Senawang and like factories and stuff.
Wow. Right.
My line of work lah. So it's gonna happen. So these kind of emergencies, you dip into your savings straight away, and they kind of like just sucks all your money out. So are you saving enough for your emergency fund? Or are you saving for a particular thing that you want, which is, I don't know, something to reward yourself? So the more you look into it, the more you realize that, oh, am I saving enough? What is it really for?
Right. I think that is a good thing to think about as well, because I think when you go to like someone who's listening in, a primary school kid right now, right? No, I highly doubt, right? Or maybe I think that was something that I didn't really think about when I was in high school or even college, right? I just saved because I knew I wanted to save, right? But some people need a reason to save, right? Because
something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Like, I think that's why your whole like holiday fund or like splurging fund kind of makes sense. Like for me, it was really more of like, I think I never really saved for myself to use, but I saved in case I needed to do something in the future, right? Because it was really more of like, I mean, I'm reaping the benefits now. Like people think like, oh, great job, making a freaking house. Like, yeah, you don't understand how it feels to be walking in your life savings. So, but that's the thing. I think when I was in secondary school, I just had something in mind where I did everything I could save money. So like if I could study hard to get a scholarship, I did. If I could work in McDonald's for Hari Raya, I did, and all these kind of things. But I never saved with the fact that I wanted to go on a holiday or wanted to splurge the money. I just kind of wanted a bank account to fall back on in case anything happens, right? And it sounds crazy, but I never really had the thought in mind to like buy my own car or stuff like that. I just wanted to continue this habit that I have of like not spending money, because but again, personality, I never really felt like I needed to spend money. I never really felt like I wanted to splurge. Today I buy 5 of the same shirts and that's pretty much it, right? Yeah. So I do have to say that I'm not expecting everyone to have this same approach to like materialistic things. It's just that for me, it just works as simply as just save money. If you've got nothing to do with the money, don't spend it, right?
Yeah.
So when at times I do have, and trust me, I do have splurging moments, I'm very free to splurge because I have done my due diligence for the last 5 years. If I'm going to go for one night of debauchery in money, I'm like, I just go for it, right?
That's a very strong word for a married man, man.
And like
financial
5
debauchery.
years to decide
financial
on that.
debauchery. But no, like I mean, like let's say for the 5 years I saved about, I think after, I mean,
long, 5 years.
I mean, very, very honestly, when I was planning the wedding, I realized that okay, so this is what I think we had a talk about that as well. During my wedding, Miyu came up to me and like,
How much
"Hey,
this shit cost?
how much
man?
this cost?"
Yeah,
ah?"
actually, I've always wondered this. How do guys save for the ring? Like the
Right,
proposal? And
right.
how do you save for the wedding?
See, that's what I didn't realize I was saving
You
for.
plan like 5 years, 10 years in advance for that.
But don't
impossible,
you
right?
think
Yeah.
so? Like this comes back to values of life again, right? Because like I don't think people go in the mind like I want to save for my wedding ring. Oh, so cute. And I'm like, what the heck?
Like if your wedding ring, let's just kind of
Right.
throw out some numbers, right? If your wedding is gonna cost 50,000,
right.
all right, your wedding ring, right, should not be half of that.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Then I think that's the difficult part. You see, some people want to splurge on the best day of their life.
Of course, of course.
Some people want to like, let me give a ring to my fiance that makes her fingers look like toothpicks. You know, that kind of
Wow,
that
that's
kind of
next
things. No, I got friends. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
so
right?
but I think that's important to have like conversations with your
Yeah.
partner about it, right?
But you can't. But the thing is, the only thing I had to say about that is you cannot put that on yourself 6 months before you get married.
Oh, sweet
No.
heavens!
Right? You
You'd be
can't like I
so
want to decide
stressed.
now. I want to have the wedding of my life.
And then you're earning like $1,000 and then putting $100 in your OCBC. Wow,
Yeah, I'm
6
like-
months, I think you got $600, man.
Then you're going to go around. What can I get for $100 over here? You know, like
$600 is the one table also cannot buy. Oh.
yeah. But I think that is just don't be unfair to yourself, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think when you, I think up to that point, I didn't realize how different our finances were when Mingyu asked me how much this cost. I'm like, at least 50,000. Then we're like, what?
Yeah.
And then I asked him like, don't you have 50,000? You've been buying all your guitars. Then it's like,
They're in the
it's in the
guitars.
guitars. So I think actually that was a very big turning point where I saw Mingyu's approach to money because this stuff actually costs a lot. Then I think we continued talking into like, this is just the wedding, you know, the house
Yeah, correct.
is a whole different
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yep.
And then you're not talking about like, then Mingyu realized that I think, then I got my car and then like, okay, then it got really serious because when you layer this stuff on top, the wedding, the house, and the car, yo, that's a lot of money that
Yep.
suddenly you realize
For
you
sure.
don't have, right?
And all in a small period of time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so I think that is why when there's really no harm if you're like still staying with your parents or still studying, right? There's even if you have no goal for savings, it works. It really does. Because when you finally meet the love of your life and you like want a wedding, you don't want to give her the world, you're gonna realize the world has a price tag on it. And
That's crazy.
and it's a very late in the life to like figure out like, okay, maybe I should have like saved at least $100 every month.
Every
you know?
month.
But I really don't rain on anyone's parade right now because I think people definitely, I mean, if you're listening to this, I think we should try to figure out like people are losing jobs right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In a pandemic, and the whole thing about saving and investing in a pandemic. I'll be honest, like, it sounds ludicrous right now because we barely have enough money. How are we going to save? You know, we barely making ends meet. My business is going down. How do I save?
Yep.
And I think this is going to be interesting. Like, what would you do right
Yeah.
now?
If I weren't in my current like
Yeah.
frame of mind,
Yeah,
I would hope someone would be, or I would hope I'd be able to reach out to someone I'm comfortable with talking about money
right,
to talk about, hey, this is my situation. Can you hear me out?
right.
And you know, this is it. Like I feel like I cannot save money anywhere, and I feel insecure in my current job. I just hope someone would shake me and say, you know, this is all under your control. The more you think that you don't have choices, that's when someone or yourself you really need to tell yourself, hey,
Right.
I have a lot of power in this. I have
Right.
accountability, and I can figure this out.
Right.
So I think that's the thing that's underrated when it comes to dealing with our money.
Yeah.
It's the stories we tell ourselves that, oh, I'm in
Yeah.
this job because I don't like it and I have no choice because I need the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's where people get the whole fact that money doesn't control me, I control money. I think people think that it's only when you're rich that money controls you. When
Yep.
you're in this state and you feel that money controls you, like, no, I can't do this because I don't have enough money, or I can't do this because I don't have that. I think Ming, you know, my mom was giving us like what, 20 cents a week, 20 cents a day when we were in freaking primary school. And I managed to buy myself a pack of Pokemon cards anyway, right?
Ah.
I think it's really about that mindset of don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not trying to say that everyone who is in financial difficulty now,
It's
you
not
have a
your fault.
responsibility to save. No, your responsibility right now is to survive.
Yeah.
Right? And I think there are really smart ways to go around doing it. But I'm not saying that right now it is, it's an absolute necessity to make sure you have a safe bank account during a time where people are experiencing financial difficulties. But I think everyone could have that check of like, even in this pandemic, like, I mean, I might be speaking for some people right now. There are some guilty splurges because people are just stressed out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
That's
yeah.
why e-commerce is booming like crazy right now, right? Because people got nowhere to go. People got nothing to do other than think about how stressful life is.
Correct.
People are just buying stuff online.
The average cart value for most of our e-commerce websites has increased by 200%.
Oh, good
Whoa.
lord! So like you see, like I'm not trying to like rain on anyone's parade, but yeah, the best start to that's a good savings habit is that person who shakes you up and say like, oh, find a person that you are okay with. Yo, am I spending
Yeah.
correctly, right? And
Your checkpoint.
that kind of check, especially in a time where it's really hard to save money, because here's the thing lah. When you feel like you have no money to save, you're not going to save anything. If you correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because if you feel like I just need to hang on every month and get by, let's see what I can do, right?
Let's I feel like okay, enough talking from you. Let's get the beautiful mind of the lovely lady here, because we have her in the studio. As we wrap up, it's almost 15 minutes already. Let's get a little bit more sort of actionable steps from the both of you actually.
Sure.
On
On?
just saving, guys. I mean, we talk a lot about the concept of why it's important to save, whether you can or cannot. We've actually not spent a lot of time on actionable steps. So the 10% from your monthly income to a different account it's one method.
Yes.
What's another one that we can do?
Okay.
Why don't we make it even more specific?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, let's not talk about savings in general. What's our actionable steps that we can do right now? Like for someone, like in anyone who's even in this situation where we are right now, in this weird place of like who knows whether money is coming in. What would you do like this in this current season of life? Actionable steps.
I guess like what is important is actually looking at what you have. Because a lot of people, like when you're nervous about money, you kind of don't want to look at your accounts, you don't want to look at your bills,
Yeah.
and you just let them be.
Right.
And that's the thing, like if you don't look at it, it doesn't exist. So what I would do is the scary thing of like opening up your bank account
Yep.
and seeing what's your inflow,
Yeah.
which is normally
Salary.
everyone has one salary,
Yeah.
and exceptional people have more
Difference,
lah, right?
yeah.
Different income coming in, and then you look at your outflow. Where is it all going?
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
and is it more outflow than inflow? Because sometimes, well, I was there definitely when I first started working. I was spending more than my paycheck because I had like savings from Ang Pao and stuff like
You guys
that.
can just search the App Store or like the Google Play Store for one of those like money trackers, right? They're so decorated
But then you have
nowadays.
to commit to using it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta commit,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Like the savings is basically discipline. So
Okay.
that's a good point.
Okay, so once we tally that out and figure out that, hey, I'm actually spending $300 more than my salary.
Yeah. Then you ask yourself, who is this for really? Am I trying to impress someone else?
Hey.
Did I enjoy this purchase?
Hey,
Yeah, lah, do I regret this purchase?
hey.
So all of that, you kind of decide, okay, so that was in the past. So what can I do about it now?
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not so much of like taking the blame game, like, oh, that was a stupid thing. Why do you do that, Lasuin? No.
Carousel that shit.
If it wasn't food, lah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone buys like.
Okay.
Megan, what else, man? What else can we do? You're really, really good at saving. So I feel like for people who can't follow like your full 50 split,
Oh boy.
what is
No,
another
yeah.
good way?
Please don't follow my 50 split. 50 split is like what? Brown belt in taekwondo. Don't do that with
I
the
would
white
say it's
belt.
almost black already.
Okay.
Automate. You should automate.
Yeah. Automate is a really
Standing
good thing.
instructions.
Some banks and some things have standing instructions. Like I think this is not promo, okay? For like Stashaway, for example,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So some programs or stuff like that, they have like it automatically bills your credit card every month or stuff like that. But if you really wanted to try something this whole year, right? Don't think of it as like, let's say you have $2,800 of $3,000 of salary a month,
Yeah.
right? You cannot think of it like, let me put away this whole chunk. Try this. Every day, put aside $5.
Whoa.
$10.
Into where? Stash away.
Just put in like physically from your wallet, just put it into like somewhere safe in your room.
Okay.
Because Because really, that physical act, it makes more sense than pressing. I don't know, maybe I'm old school, right? But it's much
Tangible.
easier. Yeah, it's very
So
tangible.
every day $5.
Every day,
try
just
it out.
$5. I mean, if you're a working adult, see how ridiculous that sounds if you're a freaking working adult, okay? Take a $5, or if you really want to feel good about yourself at the end of the month, 11111. Okay, 11111. Yeah. $5 have a real rich stack, okay?
$1.
Yeah, $5. And just tuck it away somewhere. Get a Jacob's tin lah with like no more biscuits
Also
inside.
5 jars lah.
Actually,
Sorry,
people-
No, just one jar. Just take away $5 every day.
three away.
People
Put
do
$5.
do this in a different rendition.
yes,
They
yes.
make it a game, right? So every time they spend with cash, they see $5 in their wallet, they take it out and put it in a container.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that adds up over time.
Yeah.
But Ming Han's way is actually to physically take
$5.
every
Put it out.
single day.
Every day. Like you can do it at the start of the day. You feel the burn much less compared to the end of the day. But I would really suggest like before you go out of the house, take $5 out of your wallet, put it somewhere safe at home. And you will see at the end of the month, that's 30 days, you save $150. Real right away. $150 over 1 year, that's $1,500 minimum.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
And that's like you don't even think about.
That's not even your bank. It's not your bank account. It's
Yeah.
nothing. You
It's
know.
just your habit.
It's just your habit of $5 every day.
Damn.
Right. So that's the and to be honest, I'm just trying to figure out something because in this year, it's tough to even think about like, wow, $5 is one kai fan. Like, that's a meal. But that's I think that's a good habit to start. Like
Yeah.
putting $1 a day isn't going to do anything in this time. So yeah, you could start with a simple habit like that. I used to do whatever that app was. Every coin that I have at the end of the day, I put it into a bank and I start again the next day. So that would be a very simple step for me.
So, wow, okay. We obviously don't have time to go into like the whole thing about investments and even utilizing some of the new apps that are available on the App Store. But if for everyone to kind of maybe try dipping their toes in it, what is something you guys would recommend before we invite you back for another session to talk about maybe the next steps of
shucks.
now you have this amount of savings, what can you do with it? What is something that you guys would recommend people to do? So, okay, guys, don't buy Bitcoin. You can't afford Bitcoin.
Please.
So
I
don't.
mean, like, no, I would say it's not about affording. I say if you have no idea what it's doing,
You don't know what you're doing
just don't do
Okay.
anything. I mean, it pretty much makes sense, right? Don't spend money on anything you have no idea what it
Correct,
is.
correct.
It
Yeah,
is, right?
whatever you don't
So
understand.
what should I download on my phone to try out first? And again, like we're not asking you to put in like 50,000 stuff, right? It's like if you have $100 to try out onto a saving investment app, what would be a good easy way to start?
Any bank app.
So again, go back to banks lah.
Because I would say
That's the bare minimum, I
yeah,
guess.
it would be to be really responsible, right? There's this whole term called DYOR, which is do your own research, right? Even if I wanted to recommend stuff like you're very familiar with Stashaway,
Yeah.
Fund Supermart, all these kind of random apps that have people managing your money for you, you really need to read up whether it's for you or not,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because it'd be very irresponsible of me to just dump an app on someone and say use this. I'm not a financial
I love
manager.
that.
I agree with that.
Don't follow my advice.
Like what you should be downloading is like Google, Chrome, and YouTube, so you can see people using these things
Yeah.
to see if it's gonna fit you and what is it that you're actually buying.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
if you put like say 10 ringgit here and like 50 ringgit there, ultimately it's not gonna rock the boat. And are you really like doing it out of FOMO because you see everyone else making money from it, or are you doing it because you actually legitly want to invest in it? So like do the research first. Use YouTube.
Use YouTube.
use
subscribe
Google.
to her channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. I learned a lot of the more advanced stuff on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh, guys, that was.
Please, guys, just simple as that. Please don't buy anything. Again, if you're not going to buy a random kai fan from an uncle you don't know,
Don't
invest. If you can't even do that, don't
Because
invest.
that's also an investment.
Yeah.
Right? Not just financially, but into your body
Into
as well.
your
Your
body.
digestive
Yeah.
health
So,
investment.
okay,
In the
guys,
next
we've
episode.
learned a lot about today's sort of like podcast, even like different viewpoints about how much savings you should do a month, setting aside an amount or a percentage, to even the fact that your reality may not be the reality of others. So, how you spend your money and earn your money is different. You cannot compare. I also like the fact that Suyun was like, you know what? I have a splurging account or I have a splurging a box.
Yeah, you could just be honest about yourself,
Yeah.
like, if you have a
Yeah.
spending.
And for people like
You
Ming
want-
Han, who's more, I think he just sees the functional value of things. He's okay saving more. So
Yeah.
again, guys, even among the three of us, there is different ways of how we manage our finances and money. So don't feel like you have to follow this
One
financial
particular-
guru who's like saving 90% of their savings when they are living in a basement. So don't do that if you're not going to do that.
Oh,
all right.
boy.
Final words. Let's get something from Suyin before we invite her next time again for round 2.
Yeah, whatever situation you're in, you can definitely improve it, or
I
you
like that.
can do something about it because
Yeah,
it's
there's
up to
always a
us.
way.
lah.
There's
We're in the
always a way.
driver's seat.
Woo!
Yeah.
Girl, don't talk about finance anymore, man.
Hey,
It's life, right?
yeah, if
They're interlinked.
That's right.
Yeah, if you can-
Interlink.
to be if I really agree with that. If you can say to someone like, don't let money control you, don't feel like money can control you, and this will do something about it.
Yeah,
That's
we're
it.
in the driver's seat, guys. That's the only takeaway you should be taking away from today's takeaway.
Oh boy, man.
I love it. It's such a great episode. I'm going to end off with some sweet tunes for you guys to check out. This one's Raindrops by Cesare. He's a beautiful Singaporean singer, good friend of ours. This one's a bilingual song. Check it out.
What's wrong? I can move on. I'm hoping that someday I'll get over missing you now.
Oh my goodness, that's the English part. You have to go check it out. There's also a music video that is so beautifully shot. Guys, check out the great track. Check it out. Please, please, please. All right, guys, that's all the time that we have today for today's Tabletop Podcast. If you guys want more podcasts, check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. We're also available on YouTube for more stuff like Head Over Heels and Amen coming back for a new season. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please tag us in your stories. Also, Suyin on Instagram. What's your tag?
Suyin Invest.
Invest.
Suyin Invest.
Yin
Invest.
Invest.
Yeah.
So the yin is
Together.
I love that. Janius. She's a Janius.
Soy invest.
Minghan, any parting words for our Framelons?
Guys, if there's any time you want to get serious about, saving for a future, it's right now.
It's right now.
It's seriously, guys. Happy New Year.
And we know who you guys are. You've grown with us, and we can see the age of the demographic of the audience listening in. So it's about time, guys. We all need to do it. Let's make it a better year for all of us.
Amen.
Sian, any fine words for your relatives or friends?
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Thanks for that. Uncle Auntie, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you guys have been keeping well. Guys, please.
Cases are rising, man.
Please, guys, just wear your mask. Remember, it's not over until
not
it's
over.
really over, and we all get the vaccine and live happily ever after. Please, guys, stay safe, stay home. We are trying our best to just keep work going and just be safe as well. But hey, do your part, guys. Don't be stupid and go party all your friends with no mask. Okay?
Yes, yeah.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tag us, and if you want to listen to something else, just tag us or drop a comment on Instagram, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.